All right, welcome. ZASLOW Show 2.0. It is a Monday, the 8th of May. Good to have you aboard. We are a Blue Wire podcast presented as always by Anidjar and Levine, accident attorneys. If you've been involved in an accident, doesn't matter what kind. Look, if you're listening to the show right now, I care about you very much. I want to make sure that you're healthy, and I want someone to be able to get you the money that you deserve. And that's Anidjar and Levine, accident attorneys. 800-747-FREE. That's 800-747-3733. What a show we got for you guys today. The show's coming out a little bit later than normal, a few hours later. I apologize for that. I really don't apologize, but the reason for it is I did Levine show this morning. And not just the local hour, which I've done a couple of times with them. Did the entire show with them today. So we did the national show. Hopefully, maybe we picked up a few more listeners, got exposed to the national audience. Hopefully, not everybody hated my guts. I hope some people enjoyed my appearance there. So if you haven't seen it, youtube.com/Levine show, whatever their address there is. And obviously, you listen to the Levine show wherever you get your podcasts, right? Same places you're listening to us here as far as Blue Wire goes. So, trying to get those guys a little bit of that ZASLOW Show 2.0 rub? No. Everybody knows I'm super grateful to them. I love being on the show with them. And all you guys, especially, if there's even one or two new listeners because of Levine show, welcome. Tell your friends and your family. And you guys are always so nice to me. You send great messages. 99% of the feedback I get on social media after my appearances on the Levine show are super positive. So I really appreciate all you guys. Had a lot of fun with them today. I was tired by the end. It's been, what are we talking? 8 months since I've done a 4-hour radio show. That's what it was. So yeah, I'm on. The whole thing, local hour, Big Suey, and the regular portion of the show. So go watch it. They seemed super happy with it. I was obviously super happy with it, and we'll see. Hopefully it continues to lead to more appearances there with Levine. Those guys are always great to me, and Metal Arc Media. So I really appreciate it. Had a really good time. What did we talk about? We did the Heat. We did the Panthers. Best sports town. Center of the sports universe. That's right. South Florida sports right now. We got the Heat tonight. We got the Panthers on Wednesday. I'm glad because I get heart palpitations every one of these Panther games. Every single game, third period, I'm on the verge of projectile vomit. One wrong move. But the third period, for the most part, except for the first couple minutes of the third period or was that the second period in game one? I forget. But otherwise, the third period has been very good to the Panthers this period. They took a 3-0 lead last night over the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are big-time choke artists. Huge choke going on right now with the Maple Leafs. And the Panthers are taking full advantage. I went to the Heat game over the weekend. So let's start. We're going to start here with the Heat. The Heat are in action again tonight. We're going to start here with the Heat after an incredible sports weekend. I've told you guys, and I made sure to make it a point of this on the Levine show today. These last 2 weeks, really, starting with the Heat and the Bucks and Panthers game 5, which, by the way, everything that the Panthers are going through right now, go back to the end of regulation game 5, where Sergei Bobrovsky makes the save on the breakaway against Brad Marchand. None of this ever happens without Bobrovsky making that save. Can we get to a point, I don't know, maybe a month from now, can we get to a place where we are actually saying all of this was so close to never being possible if not for that save at the end of regulation? Not at the end of the game, at the end of regulation. Bobrovsky with the save on Marchand, sending the game into overtime off that breakaway. All of this was so close to never happening. But we are in a spot right now, these last 2 weeks, from the Heat and the Bucks to the Panthers beginning with Game 5. We have never experienced... Look at me, I got my Panther jersey on. I'm a grown-up. I never wear jerseys. You know, I love when I used to work on terrestrial radio, and the teams down here, be it the Heat or the Panthers or the Marlins, and they'd say, hey, we want to send you a jersey. You know, we're going to put your name on the back of it. Or they would say, do you want your name on the back of it? And I would say, you can put my name on the back of it, but that's a guarantee I will never wear that jersey. So this one here, and it's an older one, so I got to see, look, here's the logo. If you're watching on youtube.com/@ZASLOW Show, it's the old Panther sweater. It's the old logo. They must have given it to me like within like 10 years ago or whatever. But there's nothing on the back. There's no name on the back. So this is probably one of those instances where they said to me, do you want us to put your name on? I'm like, yeah, if you want me to never wear it. But anyway, I'm wearing my Panther jersey here, and I never wear jerseys anymore. You know, because I'm an adult. But I put the jersey on this morning, so I'm so excited. We're doing Le Batard, and I wanted to represent, especially on the television there. And my younger son, Jordan, who's getting ready for school this morning, he's brushing his teeth. Because, you know, everyone wakes up and your breath is stank as hell. So he's brushing his teeth, and he says to me, he goes, you're wearing a jersey. Why? You're an adult. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm feeling good today. So we're going to represent wearing the Panther sweater. So anyway, just a 2 weeks. And hey, odds are against both these teams ending the season as the last man standing. They were both the last teams in the playoffs, Heat and Panthers. But no matter what happens the rest of the way here, nothing takes away from these last 2 weeks. We've never experienced this before, and it's as much fun I've ever had as a Miami sports fan. Obviously, I'm a two-time champion broadcaster. Obviously, 2013, 2014, even 2006 before I was on the Heat broadcast. Those are runs that will never be duplicated. But we have never had the Heat and Panthers doing this at the same time. The only time before right now that the Panthers have ever won a game, one game in the second round of the playoffs, it's only happened one time. It was 27 years ago. And that year, you didn't have the Heat and Panthers doing it at the same time because the Heat were swept out of the first round by Chicago. It was Pat Riley's first year as coach. This is the first time in the history. This is not an opinion. This is not an observation. This is a fact. This is the first time in the history of South Florida sports that we have had something like this, where Thursday night, the Panthers get that win. Saturday afternoon, the Heat get that win. Sunday night, the Panthers get that win. Can the Heat keep it going tonight? And then Wednesday night, can the Panthers finish off an improbable semifinal, Eastern Conference semifinal sweep of the stupid Maple Leafs? What a weekend. What a sports weekend. I'm really thrilled that you guys are hanging out with us today to start the week, but also just the timing of everything. ZASLOW Show 2.0. Like, we're peaking right now because of what's going on with our teams. It's so wonderful. It's really fantastic. So, we're coming off an incredible sports weekend. I did the Le Batard show this morning, so I'm feeling really good about all that. WWE Backlash on Saturday night? Oh my God, if I could tell you, what a show that was. WWE Backlash, Baboni, amazing. Now, Logan Paul is still number one. Because here's the thing. Logan Paul's doing legit one-on-one matches. Baboni, this was a street fight, so he was able to be protected. They're not like in the ring the whole time. But Baboni is amazing. I'm a big fan. I don't know any of his songs. I don't know the words to his songs. I think they're all in Spanish anyway. I wonder what they're saying. It sounds fun. Sounds like a great song. What a crowd in Puerto Rico on Saturday night. I loved Backlash. If you missed this week's episode of It's Still Real to Me, yesterday, me and my pal Joey Levine, It's Still Real to Me, that ZASLOW Show 2.0 wrestling show. Newest episode dropped yesterday. It's a WWE Backlash reaction show. So hopefully you get up after that. All right, before we continue on here, I want to make sure we got to hit up our great sponsors. We got to let everybody know what we got going on. And hey, we know the weather. Now, we've had pretty good weather the last few days, but ultimately, over the last few weeks, weather has been rough here, all right? Everybody knows that. So maybe you got a leak. Maybe you got some damage in your home. Flooding has been historic. That's a big deal, okay? If you think that your home or your business may have been damaged from the flooding recently, Water Cleanup of Florida is here. ZASLOW Show 2.0 sponsor, ready to help you 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Water Cleanup of Florida, they understand the impact, the stress, an unexpected disaster will cause. Make sure you use local contractors like Water Cleanup of Florida, not these flyby companies from out of state, okay? They're trying to take advantage. Water Cleanup of Florida is ingrained in our community here. Floodwater also produces mold growth within days. So you can't be saying to yourself, all right, I'm going to get around to it. No. If it's not taken care of properly right away, you're going to have a big problem. If you and your neighbor were thinking that just sweeping water out of your home, turning on the ceiling fans, that's going to work, that's a big deal. You're going to have a problem. Call Water Cleanup of Florida. That's not going to be a big deal. Call or text Water Cleanup of Florida, 954-900-8635. You can check them out on Facebook, on Instagram. More than 80 5-star reviews for my boys, the Greensteins. Water Cleanup of Florida, 954-900-8635. Water Cleanup of Florida. We clean up your schmutz. All right, so we'll get back to the Panthers. I went to the Heat game this Saturday afternoon. By the way, Saturday morning, I know I've been keeping you guys abreast, where I told you on Friday, my son, league, not a tournament, my son, Corey, goalie for Weston Select U14. They had their league semifinal game Saturday morning. Did not play well. Lost 4-1. Second year in a row, they make the league semifinal, and they lose before the championship game. So last year, they lost 2-1 in the league semifinal. This year, 4-1. My son played good. He played well. Couldn't do anything about the 4 goals they gave up. They just didn't play well. And the other team was good. So it is what it is. That was tough anyway. So then in the afternoon, now things are picking up. We got tickets to the Heat. Thanks to the Heat for taking care of me and my family. The 4 of us, we had a great time. So first thing is, I don't understand the people. Like, I know it's a thing where because it's Miami, you want to be like, oh, their fans suck. Look at all the Knicks fans who are in the crowd, or whatever other team they be playing. Look at all the Knicks fans who are in the crowd. Let me tell you something. I have no reason to lie or cover this up, and I was there. I was at the game. The Knicks fan was not in full force the way you would have expected them to be. And I'm not talking about because we were taking that ass from the word go. I mean, the Heat are up by 20, start to finish. I'm pretty sure they led wire to wire. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like, I got messages on social media. Oh, the Knicks fan, I hear it's a sea of blue. No. I would say maybe 80-20. 80% Heat fans, 20% Knicks fans. Now, is that because these tickets were really expensive? I mean, tickets for sporting events now, look, the regular family of 4, you can't go to these games. I feel, look, your boy over here, and the Heat set me up, but I can't afford to take my family. We're going to sit in the lower level. It's $2,000 for the 4 of us. I can't afford it. So maybe that kept some of the Knicks fans out of the building. But I'd say at best, 20% Knicks fans. And you don't really know how loud they're going to be because they didn't have anything to really cheer about the whole game. Like, there were pockets in the game where maybe the Knicks get... Like, I think in the mid-4th quarter, the Knicks cut the lead, I think, to 14. I think that was the closest they got. Biggest lead was 22, I think. There weren't really many pockets in the game where the Knicks fan was able to get loud. That building was on fire, packed, obviously. It was at its loudest in the first quarter because the game was a blowout the rest of the way. But in the first quarter, it was rocking. I don't want to hear about this, Knicks fans taking over. Max 20% Knicks fans. And that's a bad job at a Knicks fan. Knicks fan usually does a lot better than that. It was much more, but back in the day, Heat Knicks Miami Arena, they played 1 year at Kaseya Center. That's what it's called this week. There were definitely more than 20% Knicks fans back in the day. Definitely. So we went to game 3, and our section and the section next to us is me. It's the whole family, all 4 of us who went. And you had a lot of back and forth. You had the trash talking. I got to be honest, just to show you, I could be unbiased. There was a Knick fan in the section right next to us. There was a lone Knick fan and a lone Heat fan. They're like at opposite ends of the row who were going at it like the entire second half. The Heat fan eventually got thrown out of the game, rightfully so. So obnoxious. I mean, the Knick fan was like your typical obnoxious New Yorker, but he really wasn't trying to start shit. The Heat fan was being super obnoxious. They eventually threw his ass out. You had problems in front of us in the star section. Section next to us, you had problems in front of us. Heat Knicks. Heat Knicks. I don't understand getting involved with the fan from the other team. And even if it's like, oh, it's all in good fun, to me, conversing with the other fan, that's not fun for me. I don't want that person in my life. I don't want to be anywhere near them. I would never choose to watch the game with the fan of the other team. And if I'm at the game, I don't want to have any type of conversation. Even if it's playful, even if we're just talking about the game, I don't like you. I don't want to have anything to do with the Knick fan at the game. So I don't understand the back and forth. I don't want to be part of your life. And then when it gets to a point where the situation escalates and then the security and the police have to come, it's so stupid. So anyway, my wife got mad at me at one point. So it's the first time my kids have ever been a part of Heat Knicks. Like at one point when you had Cody Zeller, which, I mean, you saw this developing for several minutes. Randall looked to be taking shots at Cody Zeller. And eventually, Randall, terrible. Randall's taking shots at Cody Zeller. And eventually Cody Zeller's like, F this, man. And on the other side of the floor, Zeller saw his opportunity, shoves Julius Randle underneath the basket into the stanchion. You got Hartenstein who comes in, Caleb Martin, and Julius Randle just sitting there on the floor with Cody Zeller looking right over him. And what? That's when Cody Zeller, we're all going to remember that. We will be telling our grandkids where we were the moment Cody Zeller ragdolled Julius Randle in Game 3. We will never forget where we were. And right when that happened, we had a whole scuffle and that whole deal. All the fans are standing up and chanting and cheering. I turned to both my kids, Heat Knicks. That's all I said. They knew what's up. Everyone's going crazy now. Let's go, Heat. Jimmy Butler's dancing on the floor. They're reviewing the tape. Crowd's all yelling at each other. Heat Knicks fans, even though it was only 20% Knicks fans. Turn to both my kids, Heat Knicks. That's how it's done. My wife got mad at me. Yeah. So, with like 4 minutes left in the game, hold on a second. Let me take a sip of my vitamin water. Everybody calm down. I'm very fired up. So, it's like 4.5, 5 minutes left in the game. He'd have already taken that ass. It's over. And the Knick fans are headed for the exits. So I get up. Oh, goodbye. Goodbye, Knicks fans. Goodbye. And so now my kids are doing it too. They're waving by. I got my wife tapped me on my waist. I got the death stare. I had to sit back down. I was a bad influence. She got very upset with me. Oh, bye-bye, Knick fans. Nah, she did not appreciate that. Because, you had a whole big to-do in the section right next to us. I was creating a bad example for our kids. But they got to learn. They got to learn what Heat Knicks is about. Go learn. So tonight, after the Heat did not play well in Game 3. Heat shot 39%. It's bad. The Knicks were a lot worse. Julius Randle was terrible. Jalen Brunson has not been good. Now, I got a lot of respect for Jalen Brunson. He is clearly not healthy, and he refuses to talk about it. Respect. But Julius Randle has been terrible. And I know he's hurting out there too. Brunson has not been good. And you look at the other, role players, guys who they fawn over, guys like Obi Toppin, guys like Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson. Yeah, this is what happens when you get to the second round. You're playing on the road, and you're playing against a team that has been there before. These guys on the Knicks, none of them have been there. None of them. The Heat have guys who have been there. I understand Brunson was in the Western Conference Finals last year. I get it. But he's hurting out there. The Heat have guys who've been there. The Heat are ready for this tonight. They played poorly Saturday afternoon. But just like at the end of Game 2, and Jimmy smirking at the Knicks, all right, you knew it was on in that moment. Well, Game 3, Cody Zeller's ragdolling Julius Randle. Jimmy Butler's dancing. He's spinning the ball on his finger. Yeah. You don't think this Heat team knows what's at stake tonight? You don't think this Heat team knows if they win a home game tonight against a team that they just smacked around? You don't think this Heat team knows the opportunity in front of them this evening to take a commanding stranglehold of a 3-1 lead the same way they did it to Milwaukee? And what did the Heat do in that game that they were up 2-1 against Milwaukee? Down in the fourth quarter, down double figures in the fourth quarter. Yeah, Jimmy had 56. You don't think this Heat team knows what's at stake tonight? Yeah, they know what's up. Now, do I think that the Heat are going to smack them tonight? Maybe. But there is no part of me that believes the Heat are not going to win tonight. I am very confident in your favorite little basketball team tonight. They could smoke them. But even if they don't, we're coming off a game we didn't play well. Love it. Every time, by the way, Kyle Lowry, again, very good game off the bench. Now, it's a lot to ask for from him to put together back-to-back good performances. That's tough. But every time Lowry had a basket last game, my younger son Jordan, he taps me on the leg, your boy. And I laugh because I want him to play well. I don't want him not to play well. I want to be wrong. I want to apologize. Well, I don't even have to apologize. He was awful last year in the playoffs, and he was awful in the regular season. So there's nothing for me to apologize for with Kyle Lowry. But I would like to be able to sit here after the postseason and say, gotta tell you, Lowry was awesome. I would love to be able to say that. Maybe we're headed in that direction. Seems like we're trending there. Maybe we're headed in that direction. So tonight, the Heat, who never took advantage of opportunities this past regular season, got a major opportunity in front of them against a Knicks team that I'm just not sure is that good. I'm not sure they're that good. And we haven't gotten a great game from Bam yet this series. Could be coming tonight. And you got to have two other guys. You know what Jimmy's going to give you. Do we have two other guys? I don't think you're going to get back-to-back great game from Lowry again. Do we have two other guys who are going to be able to have strong games today? That's what you need. I think you're getting a very good performance out of Bam tonight. I do. I know I'm getting a good performance out of Jimmy. Who are the two other guys who could give you big-time showings tonight? Is tonight one of those nights Kevin Love hits 4 from 3? Maybe. Maybe gets you 4 triples. Gabe Vincent was just 1 for 8. Is tonight a night where Gabe Vincent knocks down 4 from deep? Does Duncan Robinson knock down 3 from deep? How about Caleb Martin? He's hurting out there. He went 0 for last game. You got a bunch of guys that I just mentioned there who feel like they're due. Now, I don't think you're going to get back-to-back strong games from Strus. He had 19 last game. All right. You're good. You're okay right now. But between Martin, because I don't think you're getting it from Lowry tonight either. Between Martin, Love, Vincent, Robinson, can 2 of those 4 guys hit at least 3 from deep? That will be what the Heat need. 2 of those 4 guys need to combine for 6 threes. Maybe the other 2 give you 1 apiece as well. I mean, think about that. Can you get 8 combined 3-pointers from those 4 guys? That'd be enormous. I mean, those 4 guys in Game 3 combined for just 1 3. Now I'm asking, can those 4 guys combine for 8 threes? But the reality of it is, I just want 2 of those 4 guys to have difference-making games. And I think you're going to get it. My bet, I'm gonna pick out of the 4. Kevin Love, Duncan Robinson. I think you're getting Love and Robinson, both in double figures, contributing big time tonight. I think those are the difference makers. I think Bam also has look, Bam had a strong game the other day, but I'm talking, like, he had 17-12, but I'm talking about Bam where it's like, gives me 25. I think that's what we're getting tonight. I think we're getting a very, very strong performance from the Heat tonight. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know what else I'm talking about? My man Colin, the founder and CEO of Sheets and Giggles. Remember, he sent me and my son to Game 3 last series against Milwaukee. Huge Miami sports fan. Huge Levitard show fan. I hope he enjoyed the appearance today. Well, you know I got to tell you about Sheets and Giggles. If you're having trouble sleeping, it's not because of the way the Heat or Panthers are performing. They're fantastic. You may not have the right kind of sheets on your bed. Have you tried sleeping on a eucalyptus pillow? It's my new favorite. The comforter, it's my all-time favorite comforter. The ZASLOW family are 4 of over 100,000 Americans who are sleeping on Sheets and Giggles these days. These are the sheets that are taking over the industry. Sheets and Giggles. Sheetsgiggles.com/ZASLOW. Use promo code ZASLOW for your first purchase. You'll get 20% off at checkout. Use promo code HEAT and you're getting 25% off at checkout. Sheetsgiggles.com. Environmentally friendly. My man Colin cares about the earth. We're talking about using, they're sustainably made, all the sheets, the mattress, eucalyptus mattress, from the wood of eucalyptus trees grown on sustainably managed biodiverse farms. I love these sheets. It's the only sheets I'm ever going to have for the rest of my life. Sheets and Giggles. Sheetsgiggles.com. Love having them on ZASLOW Show 2.0. That's when you knew this was a legitimate program, right? From the Levitard Show, Sheets and Giggles also comes on over here. That's when you knew we were legit, right? All right, love all my sponsors. So, we're going to get to our NBA rundown. Actually, let's just do it now. Let's get to our weekend NBA rundown, brought to us by Brunt Insurance. Every Monday, my man Greg Brunt and his team at Brunt Insurance, 954-589-2204. They bring us our weekend NBA recap. We got playoff games to get to, but you also got to make sure that you're covered as far as insurance goes. You need homeowners insurance. You got to make sure if there's some kind of disaster, you're not left out on the street. That's why we have insurance. The market's really confusing. What do? Go to bruntinsurance.com or call 954-589-2204. Greg's got a fully licensed staff out there. They know what every area you're calling from. All of Florida, Pensacola, to the Keys and beyond. I've been with Brunt Insurance for almost 10 years now. If I want to get the man Greg Brunt on the phone myself, I got some questions to ask him. I get him on the phone right away. 954-589-2204. Huge Miami sports fan as well. Again, you need to make sure you have car insurance, boaters insurance, even if you don't own your home, renters, condo. Like I said, I don't have to worry about anything with my home because I've had my homeowner's insurance through Brunt Insurance for almost a decade now. 954-589-2204. That's 954-589-2204. So tonight you have Golden State at the Lakers, Game 4. Saturday night, the Lakers series shifted to Los Angeles, smoked the Warriors. They win by 30. Game was kind of close around halftime. Lakers took over in the second half. I don't get the Warriors. When they lose this postseason, they get smoked. I mean, this Warriors team, you stole the home court. Well, I'm sorry. You already gave up the home court advantage after losing Game 1. And the first game on the road here against LeBron and the Lakers, you lose by 30? I don't get it. So, I would assume the Warriors win tonight. I mean, based on their pedigree, you would think you're going to get a big-time response out of the Warriors, and they will even up this series because Lakers win tonight, they're going to win the series. LeBron's not blowing a 3-1 lead. I don't know if it would mean Lakers winning 5, winning 6, winning 7. LeBron is not blowing a 3-1 lead. even if this isn't the LeBron from even 5 years ago, LeBron's not blowing a 3-1 lead. Must-win game tonight, obviously, for the Warriors. But I don't get that team. Now, last night, or yesterday afternoon as well, big time drama. We'll start with the afternoon game. Philadelphia beat Boston 116-115 in overtime. That series is tied 2 games apiece. I felt that it would be a split going back to Boston. I thought Philly would have won Game 3. So, since they didn't win Game 3, I was actually surprised that they won Game 4. But overall, it's 2-2, which is what I thought it would be originally going back to Boston. I still don't believe this Sixer team wins the series. I wouldn't be surprised Boston wins the next 2, and it's over in 6. But the good news is for the Heat, this is now a long series, and the Heat have a chance to make this a short series if they take advantage of the stupid Knicks tonight. Now, Philadelphia was up big for most of this game. Celtics make the big run there in the fourth quarter. They end up going ahead. James Harden, I can't figure it out. James Harden had a monster game. But and he had a monster game 1. How do you have a monster game like Harden did yesterday, including the game winner late in overtime? How do you have that game when you just had that turd of a performance in Game 3 where you were Ben Simmons out there passing up layups, passing up floaters from 8 feet? I don't get it. But he was awesome. Now, Embiid's a tough one for me to figure out too because they need baskets late. They're tied or they're down by 2. And Embiid just hangs out on the perimeter. Post up. Use your physicality. Get a shot around the rim. And then on top of it, you got Al Horford, who Embiid is like 5 inches bigger than, who blocks one of Embiid's jumpers and blocks Embiid at the rim. And then you have the biggest moment of the series for Philadelphia, where PJ Tucker has like a putback and a foul, and then is yelling at Joel Embiid like, this is the time to get your shit together. Let's go. Can't have you hiding now. Love PJ Tucker. Let me tell you something about Joe Mazzulla. And look, it's always F the Celtics in my house. It's always F the Celtics in the ZASLOW mansion. But Joe Mazzulla needs to calm down. Like, super contentious with the media last week. A few days ago. Ending his availability with, any questions about adjustments? Oh no? Okay. Getting up and walking away. Listen, Joe Mazzulla, you've done shit in the NBA. You've done nothing. You took over a team that was second place in the East last year and got to the NBA Finals. You've been gift-wrapped a championship caliber team. You've done nothing. You've done nothing. Right now, you're Luke Walton. Luke Walton took over the Warriors when Steve Kerr had personal stuff going on. He had health issues. Warriors were awesome. You're Luke Walton right now. You've done nothing. And we all know what happened with Luke Walton. Fired from 2 head coaching jobs after that. Stinks. Turns out, the team was pretty good. That's what's happening here until proven otherwise. And Joe Mazzulla gives off that smartest guy in the room vibe. I know that the Celtics, that it's been their MO the whole year, that Mazzulla doesn't necessarily call timeouts. That he doesn't call timeouts necessarily at the end of the game. Lets the guys play for themselves. Okay. But sometimes the wrong move turns out right, and sometimes the wrong move turns out poorly. And this was the wrong move, and it turned out poorly. Where, at the end of the game, they don't get a shot off. He had timeouts. I think he had 2, at least 1. We just saw Budenholzer got fired for this crap. They don't get the shot off at the end of regulation. The shot goes in, and they don't get the shot off at the end of regulation after Harden wins it with a 3-pointer on the other end, like 18 seconds left. How do you not get a shot off? And it's a couple things. Number 1, draw up a play. Come up with your best play. Calm everybody down. Reset things. And what else you say is, hey, we're only down 1, guys, so let's make sure not only A, we get a shot off, important, but B, let's get it off with about 4 seconds remaining so we can get an offensive rebound. Everyone's going to be scrambling on defense, or we could still foul and at worst be down 3 with another chance to tie the game. That's what happens when you don't call timeout in that spot. So you know what, Joe Mazzulla? If the media wants to ask you questions of your availability, they can ask you whatever they want. How about you be a little bit less contentious and realize I'm 34 years old, I've done jack shit in the NBA. If media wants to ask me questions, I'll answer them. Humbly. Love Boston losing. Don't think they're losing the series, but obviously happy Boston lost yesterday. Now, the biggest story in the NBA right now is what happened in Phoenix yesterday. So the Suns beat the Nuggets. I did not think the Suns were going to win this game. The Suns beat the Nuggets 129-124. Nikola Jokic, what, he finished with 53? It's funny, man. Like Embiid doing his thing there. It's like, this is your MVP? And then Jokic with 53 right after. But the big thing is, you got people lobbying all over now for Nikola Jokic to be suspended for Game 5 in Denver. Why? Well, because the Phoenix Suns owner, Matt Ishbia, is acting a fool. It's too much. I don't have a problem with the fans and the trash talking. Some of these guys are super sensitive. Get over yourself. But there's no reason for the fans to be on top of the players the way they are sometimes. There's certainly no reason for when the ball is out of bounds and a player, in this case Nikola Jokic, tries to take back the ball from a fan / Matt Ishbia, new owner of the Suns. Why would he be holding on to the ball? They need the ball to play. Why would you be trying to grab it back from Jokic? Now, did Jokic give him a forearm on purpose? 1,000%. 1,000%. He saw who it was. He knew it was the owner. Not that he cared, it was a fan. But he knew it was, and then he gives him a forearm. Which I don't blame him. Now, it's not the right thing to do, but I don't blame him. Why are these fans on top of players? And why is the owner, forget that he flopped, why is the owner of the Suns trying to hold on to the basketball? You're not in the game, buddy. I think he should be totally embarrassed because this is what everyone's going to remember about him for a long time. And I do believe that the league is going to have conversations about suspending Jokic. I hope they don't. It's really stupid. And if they do suspend him, yeah, the Suns fans are going to love Matt Ishbia forever. He should be embarrassed. And the two brothers, Eastern Promises, are going to show up on his doorstep. So that's the big story today. I don't think we'll officially get word until tomorrow if he is or is not going to be suspended. I wouldn't be surprised if he is. I hope he's not. Fans need to get control of their situation too. There's no reason for you to be on top of the players. Sit the F down. And like I said, tonight, after the Heat, you got Golden State at the Lakers, and that right there is our weekend NBA playoff rundown, brought to us by Brunt Insurance, bruntinsurance.com, 954-589-2204. From Pensacola to the Keys and beyond, Brunt Insurance is delivering you that comprehensive insurance tailored exactly to your needs. Go online right now, bruntinsurance.com, or call 954-589-2204. Let's get to our favorite little hockey team. So you see right here, look, I got my Panthers sweater on. Now, for those of you guys who are not so indoctrinated to, hockey lingo, the sweater is the jersey. It's called a sweater. I got my Panthers sweater on right now. Oh my, I can't believe it. So, this has been the same thing for every game this series, right? Certainly game 2 and 3. The Leafs come out the first few minutes of the game, and they're trying to throw a haymaker. And they do. Get 2 goals in game 2 the first 5 minutes. Last night, they get a goal in the first, minute and a half? And the Panthers get up off the mat. The Panthers weather the storm. It's become their thing. And they were saying it on the broadcast too, where this team, they just don't go away. They're not going to get wrapped. There is no scenario from here on out, no matter what happens this postseason, there is no scenario where the Panthers are going to be rattled. This team is unshakable. And so they tie the game off of a beautiful goal from Anthony Duclair. Breakaway. And Samsonov has to leave the game because his stupid teammate, Luke Shen, drives right into him. So he's hurt now. I don't know what his status is moving forward. And the Panthers, they didn't do anything wrong. Catch a break. So now this, the goaltender, Wall, I don't know his first name. Who the F cares? He has to come in. And the Panthers, shortly after that, get the breakaway. Great pass. Duclair, he finishes. Now we're 1-1. Then we get a stupid goal in the second period. Mark Stahl knocks it into the net past Bobrovsky, who, by the way, was dominant again. That's my dog. I can't believe I'm saying this. But right now, not forever, maybe. But right now, Sergei Bobrovsky, that's my dog. And Mark Stahl, he knocks it in past Bobrovsky, who had no chance. And the Panthers managed to get a stupid goal of their own. Shortly after that, Gudis from the blue line deflects off the tush of Carter Verhaeghe and past Wall. We're 2-2. Okay. And again, third period, the Leafs got these opportunities and Bobrovsky just standing on his head. What a terrific job. Sam Bennett had an amazing move. Tried to go behind the back between the legs. Great blocker save. So we're going to OT. Now, throughout this whole process, throughout this entire game, I'm very confident all game long. I am, just like I was game 2. Very confident. But I had a bad feeling going into overtime. I'm not going to lie. And I mentioned this on Twitter last night. I get it. We're the Florida Panthers. Nobody knows us. Nobody cares about us. We're a niche market. One of the worst franchises in all of sports until recently. I get it. But there were probably 3 penalties in the last 5 minutes that could have been called against the Leafs, and the referees do not care. It's really frustrating. So I totally thought, I was totally able to see a scenario where the Leafs were going to get a power play of their own in overtime, and we were going to lose. So I was confident all game long, but when we got to overtime, I just saw something stupid happening. And I love these games, man. I told you. It just, the anxiety, the agita, the nerves, it's my drugs. I love it. But also, for the entire third period of these games and overtime, I'm on the verge of projectile vomit. One wrong move, and I'm puking everywhere. But last night, man, Sam Reinhart, Aaron Ekblad makes the 2-line pass. Reinhart could have entered the zone. He decided to hang back. Let's survey. Let's make sure everything is cool here. Let's make sure we're good to go. And then he says, all right, it's winning time.
Now advancing. Lays the bank to the far side. Lundell. Back to Reinhart. Sam Reinhart, the hero. And the Panthers have a 3-0 lead.
I love being able to celebrate these big games with my boys. I've never had it before. The Panthers have never allowed us, and the Heat, I was always working. So the Panthers win last night. Reinhart, in the most disrespectful of fashion, puts the puck underneath the penis of the goalie. That's how he scores. That's how the Panthers take a 3-0 lead, by putting the puck underneath the penis. And then we celebrate putting the Leafs on the brink of elimination. And then I get to celebrate. My son and I, we're jumping around. We're in each other's arms. We're hugging. God damn, what a run this team is. They're doing it. They're doing it. We've never witnessed this before. We've never had this before. And I can't believe they're doing it. And you know what? I'm not going to apologize again. Paul Maurice, you're good in my book from here on out. You were right. Bill Zito, you were right. You were all right. I was wrong. It's worked. Everything that they were being prepared for in the regular season has led them to these moments. They were right. I was wrong. It's over. I'm good with Paul Maurice, no matter what happens the rest of the way. That's my coach now. Hey, look, there's nothing wrong with as a fan, you make them earn it. They earned it. They earned it. Sam Reinhart gets the winner. What a pass from Ekblad. Not only making the two-line pass to Reinhart, but then getting into the zone when Reinhart swings it around the boards. Ekblad right back to him. Goalie had no chance. Crowd was lit as hell. Of course they were. And you know what? I love when they show the people outside the Scotia Bank Center and the puss on all their faces. They're all so upset. Yo, what are you so quiet for? Why aren't you chanting, "We want Florida"? Why aren't you chanting, "We want Florida"? I love it. I love it. Coming up on Wednesday, I think the Panthers are going to kick the shit out of them. I think it's dead team walking. Now look, it's happened I think twice, maybe 3 times. It's happened at least twice in the National Hockey League Stanley Cup playoffs that a team has come back from 3-0. I think this is dead team walking. I've been scared to death of John Tavares, Michael Nylander, Austin Matthews. They're big guys, just haven't been there. And I think this is dead team walking now. I think the Panthers, I know the Panthers are a super confident group. The crowd at FLA Live Arena is going to be sick. I think we're going to put a hurting on them Wednesday night. I can't wait. Now, Wednesday night, it's Heat and Panthers same time. Sucks. It'll be Panthers game 4, looking for the sweep. It'll be Heat game 5, looking to win the series in 5. Yes, 7 a.m. what? So they're going to be at the same time on Wednesday. But savor it, guys. Panther fans, Heat fans as well. What we're going through right now, man, it's not normal. It's not normal for us. We don't normally get this. So tonight, though, watching from home, the Heat. I'm not going tonight. Watch right here in the ZASLOW Mansion family room with my boys. With a 6-pack of Johnny Cuba. You know that's the beer of choice in the ZASLOW Mansion. The official beer of ZASLOW Show 2.0, of course, is Johnny Cuba. You can get yourself a 6-pack right now. European roots with that Caribbean soul. Get yourself a refreshing German lager in a can at your local Sedano's, Presidente, Winn-Dixie, Fresco y Mas. Always drink responsibly. That's why I have a Johnny in my hand when I'm sitting on the couch in the ZASLOW Mansion family room. Wearing my Panther sweater, in my underwear, Johnny Cuba in my right hand. And of course, don't forget Johnny Cuba's mantra, stay tranquilo. Let's get to big deal or not a big deal. If you're dealing with water, mold, or fire damage in your home or your business, that could be a big deal. Maybe it's not a big deal. Let Water Cleanup of Florida tell you. 954-900-8635 or go to WCUFL.com. Water Cleanup of Florida, 954-900-8635. They'll tell you if it's a big deal or not a big deal. Big deal or not a big deal. So, I saw over the weekend, the Marlins and Cubs. Everybody knows that's our favorite little baseball team, even though I'm not keeping such very good track of Marlins. But nonetheless, Marlins and Cubs over the weekend. And this was coming off of last week where the Marlins swept the weekend from the Cubs. Well, the Marlins still managed to take the series. They get a win yesterday. Sandy Alcantara went 8 1/3, gave up a couple tying runs in the 9th, but the Marlins would walk it off. They went 5-4 yesterday. Not a big deal. It's not a big deal. We like that the Marlins got back to 500, right? Oh no, they're actually still a game under, 17 and 18. But gotta go not a big deal. Big deal or not a big deal? Inter Miami has won a couple games in a row. They win 2-1, including a penalty from Josep Martinez. I think he scored a penalty kick. Josep Martinez against his old team. Inter Miami gets their 4th win of the season. Not a big deal. You got to get back to 500 in order for that to be a big deal. Glad I'm an inaugural season ticket holder. Inter Miami. Anyway, big deal or not a big deal? John Mulaney, new comedy special on Netflix last week or 2 weeks ago. Baby J, watched it this weekend. I'm going big deal. Really enjoyed it. I like John Mulaney a lot. I think he's brilliant. This comedy special, his reputation has obviously taken a hit since the last special over the last few years. And not only did he have the pandemic, but he became a junkie and he's addicted to drugs. So it's about his intervention and recovering. And obviously his personal life has changed in a major way. He was married Then you had Olivia Munn, homewrecker, that whole deal. So I thought the performance, I thought the special was fantastic. I highly recommend it. He's one of the best comics alive, I think. So, Baby J, I'm going big deal. And finally, big deal or not a big deal, this past Saturday night, WWE Backlash. What a show. For a throwaway premium live event, I wish they'd be in Puerto Rico for a pay-per-view every year. They didn't know that it wasn't WrestleMania. That crowd was fire. And Baboni, his performance, that's a big deal. He was fantastic. When Carlito returned, the crowd was going crazy. I was so excited. I really enjoyed WWE Backlash. That's a big deal. And that right there is another edition. A big deal or not a big deal. Brought to us by Water Cleanup of Florida. 954-900-8635. WCUFL.com. Let Water Cleanup of Florida tell you if it's a big deal or not a big deal. Wow, what a show today. I apologize, but not really, for getting the show a couple hours later to you guys than I normally do. You'll have to forgive me. I did Levitard's show today. I hope you go watch or listen. I had a lot of fun. You can always hit me up at ZASLOW Show. And make sure you like, rate, comment, and do all that good stuff. Can we start the show tomorrow with the Heat putting the Knicks on the brink of elimination? Can we do that? Thanks to everyone who put together a great show today. Always appreciate your hard work. We'll talk to you on ZASLOW Show 2.0 tomorrow. Know what that means.